Right, welcome one and all to round 12 of the SLR F1 2017 Tier 2. This is the first time Tier 2 is ever going to get streamed. The turnout today isn't brilliant due to the World Cup, unfortunately. A lot of people have decided to watch it and we don't have many reserves. So it's a bit unfortunate with that side of things, but we have a okay grid, I suppose to say. I mean, championship leaders like Kostask and we've got John Hocking and Zero and Mustang, so I'm hoping to get a decent race out of it, but don't expect too much today. But yeah, obviously this is the first time this has been streamed, and obviously last week we were meant to do it with Owen, but unfortunately he couldn't get in the session, so my notifications are blowing up like absolutely crazy. But we're going to go on board with championship leader Kostask. Obviously you won't know a lot about Tier 2. Kostask is winning by a mile. He is Season 1 Tier 1 champion as well, so a lot is expected of him, and we're sort of expecting him to get the win here today with the not a lot of drivers we have at the minute. I keep getting invitations and stuff. Shows that life is getting a lot of understeer through the car ahead. I don't know who that is. It's MUFC, who's fairly new to the league, and he'll have to get out of the way in a second, I reckon, as there's a car in the apex there. There is a Mercedes of Ben Gallagher, who's new to the league this week. And now onto the straight. Kostas goes behind MUFC. He's not quite getting in the way, but he will be quite annoying. Going down into the hairpin. Getting it turned in. And I think he may have to back up on this lap because he's going right in the way. And if I was MUFC, I'd be getting right out of the way because he's the championship leader. He's the fastest guy out here. Well, it's actually debatable. It's either that or Mustang. There's a 35.0 is NCT's time. I'm expecting that to be beaten quite convincingly by Kostask in a second as he runs wide into the last corner, getting a bit frustrated. And he does a 34.6, stick him on pole, and you can see how much MUFC would have held him up. So it's really a battle between Kostask and a Mustang, I'd say. I don't know where everyone else would be. But one thing we have got wrong is I forgot to go into spectator mode, so I'm kind of driving. So I'll just have to retire before we start. Which is a bit unfortunate. It's a bit unfortunate. I don't think I've ever done that on this game, but it kind of started when I went downstairs, so yeah. We'll go on board with someone else. There's F1 Mustang out here. Is he on a lap? He's a bit further down the road, so we'll go back on board with Kostas to see if he can improve on his time. We'll get some telemetry up, see what kind of things. You can see he's 4 tenths up on his time at the minute, so it looks like he's going to go even faster. I'm expecting 33s to be pole, no more quicker than that really. So we're going to come through the middle sector with Kostas now, and it looks like a lot better the last sector because obviously we're behind MUFC and this is where he got really held up. It hits the apex nice, and it's going to be a 34.1, which is a fairly decent time from Kostask, and that puts him 6 tenths on pole. Going aboard with F1 Mustang, who's lost the car. I can't quite see what that was. He was up on his time in the, looks like the double right-hander. I don't really know how he managed that. It might have come together with the car, I'm not sure. I don't know, but here comes Zero on his lap. And can he keep out of the wall? No. Well done, Zero. Lemon, but here comes John Hocking to finish his lap. Can he do anything? It doesn't look like it's very good. It's a 34.5. So it's not special, is it? Zero's obviously lost half his front wing, so his lap's not going to be that good. Ganak's a little bit up on his time. So can Ganak get himself above MUFC, possibly? I mean, it's quite a messy last sector. He's coming into the pits, so... No, will Hoyes be able to improve, or is he going to be coming to the pits? Because someone told me they're doing 2 laps and then pit, and I think they've done their 2 laps. So, was coming around the final corner now, and he's coming into the pits as well. Kostas will probably do the same. So, we're going to be looking at probably Ben, who's about to start his lap, and see what he can do. When he puts his first time on the board, I mean, that doesn't look too promising, does it? It's for a fifth gear corner there, and he went all the way down to 3rd. I mean, it's like noob journey, isn't it? But obviously it's his first time out, so I'm not going to be too critical of him. But I sort of expect him to put a decent time up there. Into first corner, he basically stops the car. 2nd gear on exit he does, which is a bit of an odd one. I'm not gonna lie, now through this left right hander. 8th gear is not the preferred choice through that bend, I'm not gonna lie. And he's not hooked that up whatsoever. Quite embarrassing really, isn't it? Matteo, he seems to be a bit more hooked, but they're really struggling with that left right hander, and I'm not sure why. F1 Mustang obviously needs to get his act together as well. So obviously the pole time is currently a 34.1. I expect them to get a bit closer to that. I'm not sure if Kostas is going to go again. But I expect them all to get a bit closer to that, to be honest. Zero on his out lap. I'm not sure he is. I think he's actually on a lap. So we'll keep on board with 0. He's got a full front wing this time. He's gone into ghost mode. I think he's run out of fuel. I think MUFC is about to start a lap, so we'll go on board with the Force India. It's T1 live time. T1 is live on Racing Stripes TV's YouTube channel if you want to go and watch that. As we go on board with MUFC. And he takes that quite nicely. So it's hooking that first sector up a lot better than most. Now will he go down to 4th through here? Yes, he will. Very nice from MUFC. Bit of wheel spin on exit isn't gonna help him. And let's have a look at his first sector time. No, we don't get to see his first sector time. Well done. To the splits. For a minute there I thought I had my mic on mute. That would have been a bit of a disaster, wouldn't it? But we're going to go to the end of the second sector into the hairpin now with MUFC and the second split. It's going to be live on the Racing, it's live now on the Racing Stripes TV YouTube channel. So if you type in the top bar Racing Stripes TV, it's live there. And that'll have Racing Stripes and Owen Wyatt commentating for you. So yes, it's done so. And we're coming to the end of the lap with MUFC. And it's going to come across the line. It's going to be a 35.0, so it's improved by 0.2. It's not enough. An F1 Mustang has blown everybody out of the water by quite a bit. So it'll be up to Kostas to try and get anywhere near that. 0.6 off. And oh, Matteo! I honestly didn't expect that from him. Who's gone second by just a little bit. no problem, Harrison. He's gone second by barely anything, so well done to Matteo. He's put the lap together. See what Kostas can do. 25-4 third sector. I'm not sure where that is in comparison to everybody else, but he's the man to be looking at. As Matteo got very close to F1 Mustang, I must admit. I didn't sort of expect that from him. Hoyes can't improve on F34.5, so he's a second off. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Zero didn't really get a clean lap in either. And it's all about this man now. Kostas 99. Can he get anywhere near him? Going into this light Honda, you run it wide and then in. It looks pretty nice from Kostas. The Tier 1 champion of Season 1, so basically the very first SLR champion, and he's going for the Tier 2 championship this year. As Mustang improves a little bit more to a 0.4, which is a very good lap indeed, I must admit. I don't think I could get quite close to that, to be honest. And Kostas crossed us the line, and I don't think he improved. Well, he did a 0.8 and wasn't able to beat him, but MEFC's in the pits. Ganak, can he be improving? He's up half a second on his current time, so maybe he can get into P4 possibly, unless he had a proper shock in last sector, which I very much doubt because it's two corners basically. A 34.4 for Ganak, so that will put him in P4, a second off the pace. And that will be the end of qualifying. Wait for MUFC to either retire his car. So yeah, so it was quite close in the midfield. It was close in parts. It was like a little group and then another little group and then not everyone else. F1 Mustang got his pole position ahead of Matteo by a tenth, then Kostas, Ganak, NCT, MUFC, John Hocking, Chris Constantia, Ben Gallagher, Hin Solo and Zero in 11th. Obviously I'm not racing, it's just I forgot to put it in spectator cam. And I will have to retire straight away pretty much. I'll just retire straight off the line and then we'll try and catch the action. Can I retire straight away? So we'll go around in the formation lap because I forgot to put it in spectator cam. I'm just going to reiterate that because I was downstairs when they started. Which is a bit weird. I've never had that done to me, so on this game anyway. I would quit and rejoin, but I can't get back in the session. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect to be doing any driving, and I'm just gonna say, don't judge me because I'm on the pad, and I don't race on the wheel anyway. So I'll be retiring in a second. I just need to wait to get to start. Hopefully they behave, the Suns on the formation lap. So we're going to give a little bit of a look at everybody, and if they behave on the formation lap. I mean, there's massive gaps. And for the people just joining us, just wondering why I'm driving around and not commentating, is because I forgot to put it in spectator cam. So I'm currently driving. Alright, Jamo. So we're going to get round, and then I'm going to retire the car and start commentating as usual. I'm presuming you'll be supporting Zero in this race. Just want to create some sort of conversation. Oh my god, I'm starting ahead of someone. I mean, that's a bit of a disaster, really, isn't it? So we're going to go to 5 red lights, and then I'll retire from the session, obviously, and then commentate, because I forgot to put it in spectator cam at the start. So we'll go to 5 red lights. I'm retiring like in the good old days. Zero's gone to a decent start, he's into 10th already, but it's F1 Mustang is in the lead. MUFC's had a good start into 2nd. We've got Ganak in 3rd. Mateo's had a shocker into 4th. Ben Gallagher's going for it in 5th. Is he going to make a move? He's cutting some corners, but it doesn't look like he's made that stick. We've got NCT falling backward. Kostas, who's had an absolute shocker, is battling with Ben Gallagher now, going side by side, and oh dear, that was a bit of a disaster for Ben. I'm not gonna lie, taking out a bit of front wing off of Kostas there, but they relatively unscathed. We've got Zero making a move on Hin Solo. But if we go further forward, it looks like MUFC's worked his way up into 2nd. Ganak is in 3rd. I think Mustang will just go away into the distance. Ben Gallagher has made his way past Hin Solo, as well as Mateo has made a move on Ganak, but it didn't quite work out for him, and he slipped back to 4th place. And these two will be battling for a bit. I think Mateo, judging by his qualifying performance, has pace around this track, and could possibly challenge Mustang. We've got NCT as well. John Hawkins slipped a bit back with Zero at the back of this train. We've got Ben Gallagher and Hin Solo, as Ben has lost the car, and he's doing a 3-point turn, so we'll go back for the further pack. We've got Kostas challenging a bit. We have Mateo. Is he going to go for a move? Doesn't look like it. And he sticks behind in 4th place. So early signs are that MUFC had a pretty decent dive bomb into turn 1. Mateo has lost the car. Hopefully no one hits him. It doesn't look like he does, but he slips further and further back, and it'll give further respite for these guys, as Mustang is pulling away into the distance, and it's coming quite as we've got a incident in sector 1, and it's Ben Gallagher again having another little spin, and Zero is now behind Kostas in 7th. So and Kostas is looking at John Hocking at the minute, and that is a dive bomb if I've ever seen one, but he's made it stick. What a move by Kostas. And will he try it down the inside of the? No, he will not. But we've got Zero with an opportunist move around the outside of Kostas. So Kostas has lost out, and now Zero's gone for a 2nd move to get himself up to 5th place. He's run deep, and he's going to spin the car, and Kostas has been caught up in that one as well, and he's gone for bad dwarfs. And Zero has been disqualified for driving the wrong way. So what came from a beautiful move to disaster for Zero in the space of 2 corners. And F1 Mustang, and I know what he's doing, he's trying to make his race a little bit more interesting. I've spoke to him before about this where he just retired because it was boring. He's deciding to make his race a little bit more interesting by letting him past. Yeah, Zero won't be too happy, but Mustang making his race a bit more interesting, and he's making it more interesting for me. As Mateo So every time we go on board with him, he seems to go by. Hin Solo is found his way into 6th with Chrissy Constantia. I think that's how you pronounce that. Looking at Hin Solo. So this is the closest back to on track, except for the F1 Mustang on MUFC. And also we've got Hoys, and so we've got all sorts of weaving on the straight there. But it looks like Mustang wants to make a move, but MUFC stays in the lead. And we've got NCT, should I say, looking at Ganak. But he is currently going to stick behind as Chris's Constantia and Hin Solo a bit further back. And it looks like Chrissy has got passed on Hin Solo. I think these guys behind have pit. Kostas, Ben. I don't think actually Ben has pit. We'll have a look. I'm using the wrong thing. Stops, so we've got John and Kostas who have stopped. So the early stop. As F1 Mustang is DNF'd. Well, that is a spanner in the works. I don't know what happened, as I missed that looking at people stopping. So I'm expecting a rage message, but then again I'm not, seeing as... Yeah, but MUFC is currently winning, and I spoke to him before the race and I said to him I expected him to win a race this season, and he said no. But he's got his best opportunity now. Him versus Ganak, really, with NCT up behind, and Ganak has had the worst exit ever there. Well, he's actually had a decent exit, he had a poor apex. Matteo just behind, obviously making so many mistakes, it's unreal. And everything's really spread out, and there's Ben going again. Something tells me Ben doesn't like this track. And Ben has decided to call it a day, so we're down to 8. Yeah, I predicted that. Well, I didn't actually see it, but I pretty predicted that. Illy commentator. I don't know what that stands for, so it's a bit difficult. But NCT on Ganak at the minute is the closest battle on track. Half second separates them. I have a feeling if NCT gets past Ganak, he can have a go at MUFC. But for now, he's sticking behind as Matteo makes a very early stop. But NCT on Ganak, it looks like it's imminent. And Kostas could set the fastest lap of the race. So will Kostas do the recovery drives of all recovery drives? As we've got a little bit of battle here for 7th, 8th and 6th. I mean, I did that in the total wrong order. As NCT is now looking at Ganak. There's a little bit of lag from Ganak. I don't know if NCT's seeing this, but will NCT try it down the inside? He's gonna go for it. No, he's 6 behind for now. But MUFC is getting away into the distance. There's Matteo and John Hocking, and it looks like Matteo's got past John. Obviously tier 2 champion last year, John Hocking, and he's slipped behind Matteo. And NCT is gaining so much on Ganak. It looks all over the place, it looks really messy, and my prediction was it is. Will NCT be able to get this move now? He's under 2.5 attempts. Will he try a cheeky dive bomb into turn 1? I would. Just not quite close enough at the minute as Ganak runs wide onto the curb. And there's a lot of lag. I mean, I wouldn't want to be passing that car. Oh my word! Oh dear. Codemasters. As Ganak and NCT mount each other. And Ganak has definitely come up worse. But Ganak will be able to continue, I think. And there's no one really at fault for that sort of thing. As you can see, Ganak's... I don't really want to stay on board with Ganak, to be honest. But we've got a bit of a battle coming up here, I think, between John and Kostas. Yeah, we haven't even got a full grid. That's everyone watching the World Cup these days, you know what I mean? There's like Switzerland and Brazil and all this stuff, you know. So that's fine. But that's why I'm predicting the grid's down, but I'm not 100% sure. But we've got a little bit more of a battle between Hin Solo, who finds himself in P5, which I thought I'd never say in my life. As Matteo tries to get past round the outside of Hin. Hin Solo tries doing it, but is he going to try and Max Verstappen? I wonder. No, Matteo just goes clean around the outside, simple as that. As Ganak and NCT both pit for new front wings, and this is basically handed the win to MUFC unless something special really happens. Yeah, no, it was just unfortunate. You went for a move. I mean, you went for two cars in basically space of two corners, and if you'd pulled it off, it'd have been quite special. If it didn't, then yeah, you'd. And yeah, that's just the way it goes. And basically, the way you span, you're basically facing the other way to the track, so the game would have recognised and disqualified you for it. As Kostas has found his way into P4, so Kostas could technically still win this race. In fact, I'm pretty certain he will win this race. So MUFC haven't got this easy. But Chrissy's in second. I don't think he's got a podium yet. And his Haas teammate in third. Matteo's also got a fairly decent chance. Oh, it's far from over, obviously. Matteo's pit. If we can find that out. Yeah, Matteo, everyone behind, everyone's pit except for Chrissy and MUFC, so it's far from over this race. And we've got a bit of a battle between John and... no, we haven't. That's a lie. Kostas has already passed John. And, yeah. Oh, okay. So it was accidental then. So... I didn't actually see it, so it's it was hard for me to judge if it was accidental or not. But we've had some really weird lag incidents. So we had NCT and Hoy and Ganak mounting each other, which blew them two up. I mean, look at Ganak's car. I mean, oh dear, I don't even want to go on board with it. Because Matteo's picked up a penalty and he's about to try and overtake his teammate, and I think Matteo is going to lead this race as soon as he gets past. Oh, I see. And I think if Matteo needs to get this done, no doubt, very quickly. I think he's going to wait till the straight as Chrissy runs to Narnia. And I'd be taking every bit of slipstream I can. Chrissy's lagging a little bit. And Matteo is, I think he's let through more than, he's hardly been fault for it as Matteo went to Narnia. But he's in the box seat at the minute. But mind you, he's doing a two-stop, and I think MUFC might be trying the one. And Kostas is next on the trail of Chrissy. So what looked like a really dull race, and it was going to just MUFC into the distance, has actually turned out to be pretty interesting. Because we don't know where MUFC is going to come out in all this. And if he's one-stopping or not, we don't know. So, it's... going to be interesting. But I think Matteo has the pace over everybody. Or does Costas? Because Costas is going for a move on Chrissy through a section you do not want to be going side by side in, and he's decided he didn't want to risk his front wing. There's Chrissy is going like 1 mile an hour. As you can see, he's lost 4 seconds to Matteo in 1 lap. And that's allowed John to catch right up. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. There's not too much I can do about lag. Unfortunately, when you start, the lobbies get full, and more full, the more laggy it becomes, but yeah. Oh my god, John Hocking! Oh my god. Oh, he does deserve a 3-second penalty for avoiding the accident. I'm not going to lie, but Costas has lost a lot of time to Matteo, but I think MUFC is coming to the pits now. Is he going to... Oh, he's got a 5-second stop and go. Oh, he'll be gutted. That's his chance of winning the race gone. He's going on the softs and he's going to be going to the end. Costas could be doing the 2-stop, and so will Matteo, I reckon. MUFC is trundling to the end of the pit lane, and it looks like he's going to come out ahead of Costas either way. Yeah, he's proper bottled this. He was off into the distance, and then he's not now, is he? That's a bit wild from Costas, but he managed to keep in a straight line. John Hocking's dropped back a bit. And NCT's now on his rear end, and Chrissy's just dropping and dropping. It's interesting to see that NCT's caught up to these, but Ganak hasn't. But Ganak's lagging very much. And I bet you at the end he'll say why he should kick NCT because he's lagging so much. Next track is Monza. Yes, Monza. So that should be a slipstream fest, as we're looking at NCT looking to make a move on John Hocking. Down the inside he goes, looks a bit late. Will John try and do the switchback? He does indeed, but round the outside that's going to be very difficult as Hoyes dive bombs, and that is a wrong move, but Hoyes is going to try it again through the next corner, and has he finally got it right? It looks like he has finally got that move done into 4th place. It took 2 or 3 corners, but yeah, as long as everyone doesn't kill each other into turn 1, it's a fun track. As Hoyes took a very interesting line there. John Hocking's try and do a switchback move, I reckon. Not quite. And yeah, it's interesting to see MUFC's actually keeping up with Matteo now on the fresher tyres. And will John try and chuck it down the inside? It looks like he might. Not quite. As Chrissy is now in the pits. And Hin Solo's been disqualified. And he's done the same thing as Zero. He's facing the wrong way. So that's another person getting disqualified. So we're left with 7 drivers now. I'm starting to figure out why Tier 2 has hardly any finishes now. They just get either stupid incidents that they shouldn't really be involved in. I wonder how the Tier 1 race is going. Next week, Monza. There's MUFC is actually closing in on Matteo on the soft tyres, so obviously MUFC is going to the end. So we might get a bit of a ding dong there. I don't know if Costas is going to end, they'll be pushing it. Toys as well, just a bit further behind, and John Hocking behind him. Yeah, you're allowed to use racing line in Tier 1. There was spots in Tier 1, I did ask people, but no one said, so Rear Wheel Man from Tier 3 ended up getting it. But yeah, you are allowed to use racing line in Tier 1. There's no ABS, no traction, no nothing else really. But you're allowed racing line. Well, yeah, obviously that's what you do when you crash out. You're not going to do it again, are we? As MUFC is getting a bit all out of shape. How many driving T1? I think there's 17 today. 17, 18, somewhere around that today. It's mostly around that number. It's always quite full, because T1 get like priority over T2, and Tier 3 numbers have been really decent recently as well. It's just been this one tier where it's been a bit meh, and I've been trying to up it. Obviously we've got Ben here today and things like this, but obviously the pace in Tier 1 as well is a lot faster than this. How late is it? It's same time. It's on now. It's literally, it's just on a different YouTube channel. Same race, same time. Obviously just different drivers. MUFC is having a bit of a moment, but he's catching Matteo while we're talking about this. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect the top 5 to be as close as they are. I mean, alright, message me in the week and we'll see what we can do. There will be spots. I'm presuming there will be anyway. Because I don't think Silverstar can make next week either. I don't really want to put Rear Wheelman in again. Because Matteo's got a 3-second penalty. He's pushing a bit too hard. And MUFC now is right on the back of Matteo. So after we said that MUFC was bottling it, he's managed to get his way back into contention and found some pace. Maybe he was just saving the tyres, I'm not 100% sure. But he's looks like he's about to regain the lead off of Matteo. Will the track down the inside? Not quite. A bit of lag there. And all this, Costas will be closing and be wanting to close in. The Predator is. But it's important for NCT to get ahead of Costas because he's his closest championship challenger. So he needs to start making his gains now, really, before Costas runs away with it. As Matteo comes into the pit, so that 2-stop coming in action. It'll be interesting to see if Matteo can gain all that time back on MUFC. I doubt it. But obviously he's on soft tyres and more they get worn. He'll be gone on super softs, yes. NCT will have to stop again. Costas, I'm not 100% sure. But it looks like MEFC's got the strategy and everything nailed at the minute. And John Hocking's come in the pits as well, and he's going to come out in P6 only ahead of Chrissy. So Danak's coming to play a little bit. Obviously not going to get Matteo, but he's ahead of John Hocking now, so he'll have a little bit of a ding dong. Yeah, Fudbold is an alien. I think his time trial time's like a 32.1 or something like that. He's an absolute alien. Some of the guys in there are just crazy fast. I can't remember the community race overtake, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I think. There should be like esports ready and like, and then when you see him, like, I think the Spain esports event he got 17th. He got 17th in the Spain esports event, and if he got top 10, then he'd have been racing in esports. So that would have been crazy. So we're not far off. Obviously these guys are a bit off at the minute, but they're not exactly that slow, some of them. Yeah. We all know. We all know but himself. He just thinks he's like, yeah, he's a mare. As we're watching Kostas trying his best to keep up with MUFC. Looked a bit late on the power there, I don't know. Yeah, it was. It wasn't just me there. He lifted off a lot. Matteo's starting to make gains on Hoyes, I think. Yeah, there's only been 7 for quite a while. Hinsolo got DSQ'd for doing what Zero did. It was quite unfortunate actually. Ben was so far behind, it was unbelievable because he kept binning it. Obviously me and then them two got disqualified. We only had 11 to begin with, so yeah. But we've got still got some battles throughout. I'm expecting Matteo to close up to MUFC before the end of the race. That could be quite interesting one. We've got John Hocking and Ganak. Will these two come to blows? Not yet. Just waiting for something to happen. And then Matteo's really catching now. Don't know what lap time difference is. We'll have a look now. Between MUFC's been 39s recently, and Matteo's been 37.3 first lap. That's 2 seconds quicker on that last lap, basically. I can't help but thinking 36s is around where the 36s, 35s should be around where the actual pace is meant to be. I don't know. Kostas is mid 39s as well. Mid 39s. They're all mid 39s, but Matteo at the minute on the fresh tyres. Who's really pushing out. We'll look at penalties as well. That could be a vital ingredient in this race. Obviously, MUFC's got his stop and go that he hasn't served. So that'll be 5 seconds before he even starts. Kostas has 1 penalty, and CT doesn't have any. Matteo, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. 1, 2, 3 penalties. Ganak has 2. John has 1. John's got ahead of Ganak, and Ganak has 2. Chrissy has 1. So really, to Kostak to win, he really needs a miracle. As he comes into bits now, so maybe miracles can happen. Obviously, he was basically had no front wing on lap 1, so to be where he is quite fortunate. Obviously, NCT is coming in as well, so Matteo will get these two, and now we'll have fresh air to get MUFC, who's now done a 36.7 fastest lap of the race. MUFC on his last lap did a 38.9, so he can't respond. He's nowhere near. So Matteo will catch him if he carries on in about 6 laps time. Let's see if he can keep up this pace. I'm not 100% sure about that, but obviously lower the fuel. Yeah, you never know. And can Kostas catch Matteo? Maybe, you know. You never know. I mean, the gaps are quite stark now, but could happen. As John Hocking has made a move on NCT, but it didn't really work out there for John. And NCT has moved back up into 4th place. But NCT, John is not going to let this one go, and he's losing NCT a huge amount of time. He's just about 2 seconds on this lap, so that just says what he's lost at the minute. And Matteo doesn't seem to be gaining as much as I thought. Might have made a mistake. But really start getting it under 10 seconds to really make his move, as John tries again on NCT with DRS. But I think NCT now has it covered. But Ganak is actually with this is I can see what he tries there. You can dive bomb from really far back, and if you can block them off on the exit, then you can make that move stick. And it's all about now trying to trying to get away for NTC here to try and catch Kostas possibly. But Matteo needs to do more. He's got 10 laps. He needs to catch about a second a lap then. He needs to catch over a second a lap. And his last lap wasn't anything special, I'm presuming. We'll just keep an eye on it. 37.9, that's over a second slower than it was before. And he gained a second. So he needs to do a bit more. And Kostas needs to gain a lot. Really. He needs to gain like half a second a lap on Matteo, and obviously he'll gain with Matteo. So, but in this lap he needs to get it under 10 seconds for sure to have any chance to win this race. But that's really the only thing happening in this race at the minute. And he's got it under 10 seconds now. And he's just under. But Kostas is catching them both by a lot. His last lap was 37.8. He needs to be a lot quicker than that, really. I mean, he gained nearly 2 seconds still. So, possibly. But his, obviously penalties will come into this. And Kostas did a 36.4, which is, I think that's the fastest lap of the race. It is. So Kostas is about a second and a half a lap quicker than Matteo. And Matteo is about 2 seconds quicker than MUFC. So, who wins this race? I don't know. My gut feeling says Kostas will win this race. Especially if MUFC gets another penalty. That will not help his cause. We're going to check Kostas' penalties now. He's going to get one warning. So, MUFC's got all the pressure. But Matteo's not catching as much as he wants to here. He needs to get under at least 8 now. Around 8 seconds-ish. 8.5, something like that. As Matteo's picked up another penalty, and I think he's realising very quickly he's not winning this one. But all that Kostas needs to do is get him and the gap between him and MUFC down to around 2 seconds, but it's 16 seconds off at the minute, so 2 seconds a lap he needs, and he's gaining enough at the minute. But obviously with his tyres going off, it'd be quite difficult for him. And we'll check these latest laps. I think MUFC has over picked up the pace. He has a bit. That was a very bad lap. He's only gained a second and another penalty. And Kostas has done a 36.4 again. So, even though it doesn't look like Matteo's gaining a lot, he's still gaining a second on him, a lap. So this is going to be extremely close at the end. And Kostas is on a mission. As Ganak picks up a 3-second penalty. He's the one to watch. I mean, he can see the car there of Matteo, and he can't see MUFC. He's a bit further down the road into the hairpin there. And actually, Matteo's lost time on MUFC on this lap. Interested to see Kostak on the super ultra softs as well. So how much will they wear? Will they be still quicker than MUFC's softs? Kostas needs to get under 5. He needs to, and in return, Matteo needs to get it under 8, and it looks like he might. Kostas might get it under that 5 seconds. Very close. He's 5 seconds away from Matteo. So Kostas is in range of Matteo. He's done a 36.7 that lap. Whereas Matteo's lap times are starting to drop off now. They're in the mid 38s, low 38s. Whereas MUFC, he's only gained 9/10 on MUFC on that lap. It says Ganak has made a second stop. Realising his softs can't get to the end. Possibly. And Chrissy's managed to get Ganak. So that'll be Ganak's challenge. Get Chrissy Constantia. And Kostas is a man on a mission. Yeah, but he had some good battles. I mean, Ninja Hazard and all that. Said they had really good battles with you and Mystic Man. I think so. It was pretty fun, the community race. There were quite a few battles throughout the field, but Kostas has gone from getting down to under 12 now instead of it being 16. So he's on his way, and he'll be looking to get rid of Matteo very quickly. 6 laps, 12 seconds. It's going to be nip and tuck. As they cross the line, we'll have a look at these lap times. MUFC's done a 38.8, so his lap times are starting to improve. 38.5 for Matteo, so only 8 3/10, and Kostas is a 37.0. So, and MUFC's got another penalty. That means he's got 8 seconds worth of penalties. So if Kostas gets within 5 seconds of him, he wins this race. So it's nip and tuck, and obviously MUFC is got 8 seconds worth of penalties. Obviously that 5 second stop will become a 10 second stop and 10 second penalty overall, but obviously we'll take the 5 seconds that he doesn't deserve off. But at the minute, it's Matteo needs to gain a bit faster. Obviously, Matteo's not winning this race either way, but for Kostas to win, he needs to gain a bit faster. So it's going to be very close, and it all depends if Kostas will get another penalty. We'll have a look if he's got any warnings. He's got 1 warning, and that's it. So just to make sure, yeah, he's got 1. We'll see what these lap times are like, but it's now down to around 9.8 seconds now between Kostas and the leader. So it's come down quite a lot. So we'll have a look at these latest lap times now. We've got a 38.8 from MUC, so he's doing okay really. Matteo's still mid 38, so his lap times are getting worse and worse, and so is Kostas with 37.3, so his tyres are starting to go a little bit, but he's still doing enough as Matteo picks up another penalty. How long is it until that person gets disqualified? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalties, 15 seconds worth of penalties. And Kostas is now within a second of Matteo. He smells blood. How many penalties has Hoyes got? This will be interesting, because will Matteo be overtaken by Hoyes, who hasn't got 1 penalty whatsoever? So this is a disaster for Matteo, really. There's Ganak and Chris Constantia going at it, but Chrissy, he's lagging like mad, so he backs off. But we've got a little bit of a battle now. It's a race against time for Kostas, literally. He has to get rid of Matteo, or let Matteo try and close it within 10, but I don't, under 5 seconds should I say, but I don't know if he will do that. He's 2 seconds out. 3 seconds. If Kostas gains 3 seconds, he's won this race. And so it'll be interesting to see, will that happen? 8 tenths now with the gap between Matteo and Kostas. We'll have a look what the lap times are like from MUFC. Can he keep it up? He's done a 39.5. That is a shocker. from what he's doing recently. A 38.9 from Matteo, which is very bad himself. And Kostas has done a 37.3, so Kostas is the man on the move. All he has to do is keep it up. And is it raining? It is raining, so that's a spanner in the works. It's starting to rain with 4 laps to go, well 5 laps to go practically of this Grand Prix, so I'm doubting the wet tyre intermediates will come out because of I've been on this track and I've got experience of the rain on this track, and it takes a hell of a long time to get onto Inters, but it'll be very interesting as we've got Kostas trying to make that move on Matteo. Will he just bomb him down inside because he knows the importance? No, he doesn't. He's very cautious. Matteo's run wide, and now he should go for it now. Down the inside goes Kostas. Matteo gives up the ghost, and Kostas has got that position as Matteo tries it down the inside. Kostas leaves the room on the inside so he don't get pinched, and very fair from the both of them there. And now Kostas has actually lost a lot of time to MUFC. He's got to gain 2.5 seconds on MUFC to win this race. We have another comment that hasn't appeared yet. Great, and but Kostas has to gain 2.6 seconds on MUFC. I don't know if the rain helps him or not. I mean, it might help MUFC in this point because it might level the playing field. I mean, who knows? Will Hoy struggle? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet as Matteo loses the car behind Kostas there, and really that's gifting Hoy's that 4th place, but Hoy's hasn't had the best of time. Yeah, he's gaining up. That's basically giving Hoy's that place as Kostas getting penalties, because that could help MUFC get Kostas a penalty. He's got 2 warnings, so 1 more warning. I mean, he's on the edge. It's on the edge. MUFC won't be picking up any more penalties, I'm pretty sure of that. But with 3 laps to go, will Kostas pick up a penalty? Which would mean he'd have to get down to 2 seconds. Which would be pretty impossible, but he's not gaining. It's pretty much stabilised. So Kostas had a shocker of a lap. Really. But he's gained through that second last corner, so maybe that may be a strong point. As Matteo picks up another penalty and hasn't been disqualified. He's got 18 seconds worth now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So MFC did a 41.5, so that's how much the lap time dropped off. And Kostas done a 41.6. And that could be that. Obviously, that question's been there. Kostas has got a penalty, and that is the nail in the coffin. Pushing too hard, and unfortunately for Kostas, it's not meant to be, I don't think. Although he's gained so much time on MUFC for that little bit of a section, and then lost a load. So, yo-yo. But the gap's so big. I mean, 30, 11, 10. But it's obviously Hoy's will get Matteo in terms of overall, but will Matteo get Kostas? No, I don't think so. 6 seconds of penalties. Needs another 4 seconds really. Well, 7 seconds actually. Can't do my maths. We're going to stay on board with Kostas because we could technically still win this race, but it's, if it wasn't all over before, it is now. The rain has thwarted his plans of winning this. And they've done pretty similar lap times, I'm presuming. Kostas, 0.7. 0.7. And Ganak has binned it, I think. Yep, he's binned it into the wall. Well, how he's lost that tyre, I don't know. Or maybe he went in backwards, I'm not sure. But we are now down to 6 cars. As Hoyes comes into the pits. Hoyes is coming to the pits for intermediates. Now that is interesting, because I don't think it is intermediates at all. I mean, there's spray coming off the tyres, but my experience on this track tells me this ain't intermediates with Matteo runs to Narnia. I mean, it could be a masterclass by Hoyes, but if he does, he's only gaining like a second or two. He's not going to gain that much. We'll see what this lap time's like. Mind you, Kostas last time is a 44.7. So if he can get that, it's still in the beginning. We'll see how Hoyes does, but it looks like he's dropping off. And now Kostas is really dropping off of MUFC. So MUFC's got this one won. He drove a very good race from start to finish, really. There was a little bit scare in the middle where Kostas and Matteo started catching him, and we were like, "Ooh, who's going to win? We don't know." But at long last, it looks like MUFC has got this one pretty wrapped up. Unless he gets another penalty, then we start questioning things. But he hasn't had another warning, so don't see what's happening. Hoyes is gaining on that much. I wonder what the last lap times were like, actually. MUFC did a 47.8, yeah, the crossovers happened. A 48.7. John Hocking is in third. Matteo has gone for intermediates on the last lap. How stupid are you? I mean, that's just... I didn't mean it like that, but Jesus Christ, it's the last lap of the race, Matteo. Did Jack please shut up, just win the Tier 1 race? Unbelievable stuff. That'll be his first league win. But, yeah. My controller's about to die. John Hocking has found his way on the podium for unknown reasons, but we're going to go on board with our we're going to stop talking about that. But anyway, MUFC's had pretty decent races. Being the only person really to have a clean race, as his DRS has finally been disabled. But he's going to come across the line, MUFC, and he's going to win the USA Grand Prix. He said he wouldn't win a race this season. He's just gone and done it, basically about 2 hours after saying it. And Kostas is going to come home in second. John is going to come home in third, but obviously Kostas was really unfortunate getting a bit of with the rain. Obviously it was a lot quicker than MUFC, and also he had front wing damage early on through a couple of incidents. So if you keep your nose clean, you win the race, and that's what MUFC's done. John Hocking somehow finds a way to podium through stupid decisions, really, but by Hoyes and Matteo, really. And to be fair to Hoyes, he hasn't actually lost out because he's ended up on the podium anyway. So maybe I don't know why you pit on the last lap, son. As oh dear, he's binned it on the last lap, and that means he gets no points. I mean, you've gone from getting some points to none, and Chrissy will come home for 5th. And he was... Oh no, Black November got a podium. Oh dear. But anyway, it was a slow burner. It was intriguing. It wasn't full of action, but it was
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of...
Yeah, thank you, Crofty. It was It was interesting. It was intriguing. Like could have been more winners in that. I think MEFC could have. I couldn't have done anything. He did. I'm trying to say something, and I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, well done MUFC for winning that race. Konstask increases his championship lead slightly over Hoyes, and into next week he will be looking to finish it off. Really, the championship off and claim his second SLR title. The first man to do that. Well, it's not technically two SR titles because he's got one T1 and one T2, but we'll count it as two for now until someone gets two T1 titles, and then we'll say, well, yeah. But anyway, I've really enjoyed that one, to be honest, despite the numbers. I want to thank everyone who turned up for today's race. Obviously, some watching the football and what have you, and yeah, until next week, we're at Monza, where Kostas can wrap up the championship. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we can have a really nice race there. And until next week, I'm Nene47, and we're out of here. Good night. I forgot to end the stream.